Curious about networking and how to network like a pro? Stay tuned. How do you do? It's me, Stefan Burchard, the Desert Bowtie Realtor out here in the Palm Springs region. I help people find, buy, and sell homes, and I absolutely love this business. Networking Nuggets is an exploration of business building through social connections, digital media, and networking. The purpose is to grow our business, build referrals, and testimonials. How do you do? I'm back. It's me, Stefan Burchard, the Desert Bowtie Realtor, with my latest interviewee for Networking Nuggets. This is a friend and colleague that I know from the chambers and all over the desert here, Kimberly Krause. She's got a new endeavor. Kimberly, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about that?
Thank you for having me on. I just am so excited to participate. You and I have this complete agreement about how important networking is. And so for us to be able to collaborate today just was so exciting. I couldn't wait to get on here with you. Yay. So Konnections Certification started because I just felt like I don't see anybody under 30 years old at any networking event. And it scared me for two things. One, how are these kids learning to network, which I think is how our businesses succeed. And two, how are these businesses going to build their future workforce if there aren't any young adults out there networking? So I just thought about it. I was an employee, as you know, at the Chamber of Commerce and believe so much in networking and the connections that I just could not stop thinking about it. So I started experiment back in August, and I just said, 5 of you, if you'll come to 5 networking events in August, hot, right? And at the end, if you go to 5 things, you'll get a certificate. We'll have a little award ceremony. We'll just make it really fun. And it's great for your resume, showing future employers that you're not afraid to get out there. So they did it. I would check their pulse at the end of each lunch bunch, and they had talked 30 seconds about themselves. And they were like, oh my gosh, I survived. And we checked their pulse and they made it, right? And that was just so much fun to see the excitement in their faces that I can network. I can meet people, I can potentially meet future employers, and even if it's not them, they know somebody who knows somebody, which is the magic of networking. So I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I gave notice last November, started in February, looked at my husband about March and said, well, who starts a networking company during a pandemic? So for the last few months, I just picked their brains. We had 12 connectees in that month of February when everything was normal. And we just built the business. And I said, what do you think is going to be needed? And we literally built up a spreadsheet. You need to attend 40 networking events in 6-month period.
Wow.
And we broke it down into categories that we thought were important. Wow. Ribbon cuttings, all different kind of things. And then this happened. So we shifted a little bit and started just picking the brains of different people. How do you overcome your fears of networking? Why do you think networking is important? And all those kind of things. And we just started picking the brains of our business community, such as you, amazing people like you that get it. And that's how we've been building it. So that's kind of the majority of the business and the excitement for them to earn a certificate. And the beauty of earning the certificate is it's great for their resume, and it's industry recognized, so people will want to hire them because they have shown they are not afraid of networking. So,
wow. What industry is it recognized by?
All different. I have different testimonials by all different kind of businesses that have said, I think that I would be more willing to hire somebody if they have done follow this criteria in networking. So all industries.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That just blows my mind. It's like, oh, no, shit. Networking nuggets, Stefan. Wow.
Well, it's absolutely what you believe in. And you are encouraging all of us now that have fear of networking, and realizing the importance of it and helping them overcome the fear. So you're giving such a gift to our current business community. It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I truly believe networking is a lost art, because back before the digital age, what did we do? We went to the market and we communicated with people. Oh my God, we shook hands and gave hugs and talked about life and And I mean, life was all about networks. It's like we did not have the digital age distracting us and pulling us away from honest communication, connection. So I just love what you're doing. My God, it's so 40 sessions in 6 months. Wow. Okay.
It's a boot camp.
That is serious stuff. So those of you that are listening, if you're 30 and under, you need to check out Kimberly's stuff. This just blows my mind. I mean, if I could have had this when I was younger, I would be even better at networking than I already seem to be. So,
and if you're a business and you can't get out to everything, like you can make it to a BNI, or you can make it to a chamber, you can make it to different things, but you can't get to everything. Get one of these kids for you to go out and pass out your cards for you and learn to network. You're mentoring, and your business is getting exposure. Why not?
Wow, that's freaking awesome.
I love it.
Anyway, back here, Stefan.
I know, me too. I get so excited.
Wow, it's blowing my mind. It's so awesome. And congratulations. I'm so happy for you. What an amazing venture to
for being so supportive. Thank you.
Awesome. So when we think about networking, Kimberly, can you think of avenues or venues that are uncommon, like things not necessarily like the chamber or BNI?
Absolutely. I believe in chamber, I believe in BNI, I believe in all of those being important, but I believe in expanding beyond that. Mm-hmm. So part of our curriculum even is I have experienced success going to charity functions. And that first hour prior to a charity lunch, for example, is priceless. You have such a great opportunity to meet with kind-hearted people that see you in the same light and realize you care because you're going to a charity function, that you care about the cause. And you're building trust, which we know in networking, it's all about trust and building. So I think anything charity related, fundraising is crucial. Also, belonging to Rotary groups or charities themselves, belonging to those groups, and get out there and do the blood, sweat, tears and help people and help whatever cause it is. And you're side by side with other people. I've formed friendships and business relationships and referrals through charity for years now. And I believe it's magic because it's so helpful to help others.
It's brilliant. Actually, I think that's one thing that hasn't come up in all the interviews I've done. I don't think charity has ever come up, seriously, although I talk about it myself. Mm-hmm. When you think about going to an event, is there anything you do to prepare yourself, like materials, business cards, anything like that?
I go in wanting to help other people and make connections. And that was long before I was a chamber employee. I thought I could be exhausted. I mean, in my car going, I can't move. And I get into a function and find somebody who's connected with somebody, run around, get them together. And I'm telling you, I need no drugs. It is the high that I can't explain. And it is absolutely what I go in wanting to do. So anytime I'm exhausted, I'm like, there's going to be connections made, business connections are going to be made, relationships are going to be formed, and we're going to see the connections, and it's magic, and it happens every single time. So that is how I prepare. Now, in teaching the next generation how to prepare, because they're scared to death, I often encourage them to have 3 questions ready.
Oh, smart.
And then that way they're asking questions. It puts them in that position. I learned a tip from our friend Gary Lopez, and this is pretty recent. I learned this one and I started. When you're talking to people, stand by side, look at them this way so people always feel welcome. Yeah. And I go in with the mindset of making sure people always feel welcome. There's not cliques, and they always feel like they can come to me. And, I can't tell you how many times I hear people say, I didn't get anything out of that chamber. I didn't get anything out of that group. Well, what did you put into it?
Yep. I elbow my way into those cliques nowadays.
Exactly. Do it.
When I was younger, heck no, I was too scared. But nowadays it's like, hey, how you doing?
Of course. And I've been having business people share with the next generation that people are there because they want to help you. Especially when they see younger generation, they want to mentor. When they say their stories about what their blood, sweat, and tears have been, they realize, oh my gosh, I've been through a lot and I've made it, and I'm proud to tell people about it. So I think it's awesome to go in that way. Yeah.
Well, we kind of segued into the next question, which is education, inspiration, feeding the mind and the heart in order to go out and do some more.
Yes, exactly. And I it's funny because I think one of the other inspirations that I had for networking and teaching and is my husband. He has a position where he has to speak all the time. He has to, manage, lots of people, and he's worked really hard to get there. But networking, he clearly describes as he'd rather have needles in his eyes. And I think that's so funny. And my 3 adult children, one of them would go in any situation, but the other 2, it's work for them. And I respect that. And I remind them that have your questions ready. Turn it for it's not about you, but learning about them. And then in turn, they'll ask about you and you have a relationship. It sounds so basic, but when you're not born or come out of the womb ready to network like I was, you have to have tools and skills to get out there.
One of my favorite questions is to just ask people, how'd you get started in your business?
Exactly. Let people have to tell their story.
Uncommon question. People usually ask, well, what do you do? And blah, blah. That's so boring. I don't want to know that. I want to know what's behind that.
Exactly.
So I try to ask those kinds of questions. Can you think of a funny story or a mistake at a networking event that makes you giggle when you think about it?
Gosh, I think I listened to another one of your YouTubes, and I think this is a common thread, is that remembering names is tricky. And it's a skill. So I've really tried hard to say the name 3 times so that I can remember it. But many times I've just gone up and said, hi, and then here's hi. So I can't think of a specific time, but it's happened many times where I don't know the names, but I know what they do. Yeah. And I know how they made me feel. Yeah. And I know I want them together. So quite often names kind of put me in an embarrassing situation, but usually they will step in and say their names and I'm just like, phew. Yeah. But no, I think everything about life is funny. So, I just try to find joy. Life is so hard that everything that goes right, I party and I think it's funny. And so I didn't give you a specific example, I'm sorry, but I definitely believe that that's kind of the usual areas I get myself into.
Covered it. Can you think of something that you've learned on your path of networking that surprised you?
Yes, I would say currently, my whole goal was getting the kids, young adults, away from screen time. I came into this whole thing I'm going to get them in person. They're going to handshake. They're going to have eye contact. They're going to do all the things old school, like you said, that is a lost art. They're going to do it because I care about their future and I care about our business's future workforce. In person, no screen time. I've learned from these young adults, we have to incorporate that, Kimberly, because that is our future. That is our life. And now we had a meeting the other night where we literally said, we're going to count all of the on-screen networking things. And I said, well, if we're going to count it and we want it to continue to be industry recognized, how do we honor that on the screen? They came up with the rules. Place yourself in the middle of the screen, have a decent background, business attire, at least casual business attire, on screen, ready to mute and unmute, and that is going to be qualified for our networking. Wow. And there were so many of them that just said, we can't leave the house because our grandma's here and we can't go out and come back and expose her. So I so respect that, but they're go-getters and they want to meet the community. So that I hope that answered the question.
No, that's fabulous. That's exactly what this interview is all about. Do you have anything that you want to add that I haven't asked or that we haven't talked about here today before we wrap up?
No, I think that I really believe, obviously in networking, I believe in the future is going to be okay because the young adults I've been connecting with and networking with are really inquisitive. They care about the future. They're not scared of it, despite all the media and everything. So I want to just do a shout out that I think we're all going to be okay, as hard as it is. And we've gone through all these hard times. We've been through hard times before, and we've made it. And so I guess that's my message.
Thank you. Kimberly, thank you so much for taking the time today to interview with me, and thank you for sharing Konnections Certification with us. I'm just blown away by the creation and the creativeness and the energy that you're showing. and that you bring to this amazing new venture. Congratulations, and I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. I admire you more than you know, and I'm grateful to have met you.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks.
If you're thinking about buying or selling in the Palm Springs region, don't hesitate to give me a call, text, or email. All my information is below. Don't forget to like and share this video. And now I'll see you on my next video about the pros and cons of living in Cathedral City.